Advance tax liability. What we thought earlier was that the tax of the PY is paid in the AY, but no, it has to be paid in the PY itself. This works on pay tax as you earn. Now, who doesn't have to pay advance tax liability? First, anyone whose tax liability is less than 10,000 and a senior citizen who is not involved in PGBP, that is anything, he has salary, other income, but not PGBP, then he shall also be excluded from paying advance tax liability. Now, how will you pay this advance tax liability? See, the advance tax liability shall be the net tax payable, that is your total tax liability plus HAC less TDS less relief under section 89 and something else, that is AMT. Now, whatever the net tax liability, you have to pay it in 4 equal installments. These 4 equal installments shall be 15 days before the end of the quarter, that is 15th 6, 15th 9, 15th 12 and 15th 3. So the first installment here you will have to pay 15% of the advance tax liability, and next you have to pay 45% less what is actually already paid, and then third 75% less actually paid and 100% less actually paid. Okay, now this is the thing. Now if you do not follow this, you'll have to go through interest 3 kinds. First one, 234C. ये कैसे आएगा? See, if you make any default in these installments within this period, that is 1st 4/24 to 31st 3/25, this is called as deferment of advance tax or default in installment. Okay, now what you do is the first installment, जो भी shortage है, into 1% into 3 months, because next payment you're going to do it in 3 months. Here also, shortfall into 1% into 3 months. Similarly, 3 months. But the last one, there's only a gap of 15 days, so it will be taken as 1 month. Shortfall into 1% into 1 month. But the government has given a little relief for the first 2 installment. That is, suppose in the first installment you were supposed to pay interest, suppose you are supposed to pay the tax liability 15%, that is 15,000. But if you do not pay any shortfall, you'll get interest. But the government is telling that even if you're not paying 15%, even if you're paying up to 12%, to at least a minimum 12%, we will not calculate interest at all. That is, not charge interest at all. See, suppose you had to pay suppose you had to pay 15,000, but you actually paid only 12,000. Then no interest, no shortfall, nothing. But you were supposed to pay 15,000, but you paid 11,000. You were supposed to pay 12,000, but you still paid 11,000 itself. Then जो भी 4,000 का difference है उस पर interest लग जाएगा. So government is like, even if you don't pay 15%, at least pay 12%. The same goes with the second installment, that is 36% works here. If you pay at least 36%, no shortfall. Less than 36%, then whatever the difference is, 45 minus, suppose you pay only 30, 45 minus 30, that is 15,000 का shortfall मान लिया जाएगा. But there is no such minimum percentage for the third and the fourth installment respectively. Any 1 rupee shortfall shall be considered as shortfall. Another thing, in case of presumptive income 44AD and 44ADA, you are supposed to pay tax in only one installment, that is on the 15th third, and if there's any shortfall, you'll get interest, that is shortfall into 1 month into 1%. And in case of 44A, it is normal 4 installments and how it was. Next is after this period. So from 1st 4/25, if there is still any shortfall in the advance tax paid and the advance tax that you were supposed to pay, that is called as default in advance tax. And now you will have to pay interest here also. This comes under 234P. But you are supposed to pay the advance tax if your advance tax paid is less than 90% of the advance tax estimated or the assessed advance tax. Only then you'll have to pay shortfall pay interest. So whatever shortfall is there, shortfall into 1% into the time period shall be from the starting of 1st 4/25 till the payment date. And another kind of interest is 234A. That is, when suppose you are supposed to file return on this due date. And if you don't file the return, then whatever shortfall that is there up to the date of on the date of return, supposed to pay interest on that also. So shortfall into 1% into the time period there will be from the due date of return till the payment. Okay, that will be 234A. And also see the interest that is being calculated, it is taken as cumulatively itself. See, first 15,000 तो इतना ही देना है, सेकेंड तक इंक्लूडिंग द फर्स्ट आएगा 45,000 ना. सो क्यूमुलेटिवली और फर्स्ट पीरियड एंड सेकेंड पीरियड इतना पे करना था, इतना पे किया. दिस विल बी द शॉर्टफॉल. And this is the last thing where suppose there are 4 types of income: casual income, capital gain, dividend, and PGBP. For the first year, you don't know how much income you're going to gain. It's going to accrue. So before that, you are supposed to pay tax on the income that you already can estimate, that is 15 lakh. After this has accrued, you're going to pay it for the whole 20 lakhs.